Okay, I will do the. How do I even? There we go.
Give it up for your host, Mark Hornback, the Well Hunter. All right. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2008. I'm gonna see you at Fort what? Wash your jeans, bring your notebook, bring your jokes. We got a microphone. Phone simulation, phone simulation, phone simulation. 2000. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm stopping that. There we go. I think that is the right stopping point in that song. I've never nailed when to not play the whole thing or when to just keep going with it. That is the verse. Like that is the actual theme right there. Thank you, Kevin McComb, for making that. He made that for us. It is very awesome. This is gonna be fun, guys. We got a good list of good people. I think I know almost everybody on this, and I like most of them. That's better. That's better than liking some of them, which happens more often than you think. No, it doesn't. Everybody that comes here is a friend of the room. Doesn't matter if you've only done it online or in person. You will see 16 comedians. Stick around to the end. You will see the fastest minute in comedy. I'm going to show grid view real quick so everybody can see everybody. Look at that. That's everybody that's going to be going up tonight. Some people are laying down. Some people are doing laundry. Some people are traveling through their house. I like that Laura's traveling through her house. It looks like it looks like a, I don't know. It looks like an indie movie where you're kind of just like, oh, someone's right behind me. Like
Spike Lee.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. That's Laura Hug. She's trying to figure out where I live for reasons that are not clear to me yet. I'm not going to give out my address. Those of you that know my address, please do not give it to her. She is a dangerous woman at this point. No, she's a very funny one. This is going to be great, guys. I promise it'll be good. Yeah, I left my house for the first time today in probably a couple months. To put gas in my car. I was getting to no gas in my car, and I kept starting my car so the battery wouldn't die. I went to clean out my desk at my old job. I went on a Sunday so nobody would be there, and that was exciting because I flooded the office. I swear to God, I accidentally flooded the office. So it looks like I quit my job and I was getting my things, and now there's water damage. I assure you it was an accident. If everybody here, you're my alibi. You were there. We were all there, right? We were all there. No, I should have live streamed from the office. I should have done this from the office. That would have been a good one. I don't think anyone's done. Has anyone done a corporate mic yet? I don't know if I've seen a corporate mic yet. Corporate shows, yes, but a corporate mic, I think that's putting your job on the line. That is dangerous things to be doing. But I still have keys to the office, so we could all meet there next Sunday and do this in person if you'd like. No, we were really good. Like there were plans to do a live show out of the office. Never came to because COVID happened. Otherwise, I probably would have been cleaning out my desk for other reasons. So we're not gonna I'm gonna get this started, guys. I think everybody's ready. This is gonna be really fun night. Like I said, stick around to the end. There will always be late ads to the mic. People always sneaking in right at the end. That's always fun to see who drops in. Anyone could drop in. I don't know, Jeff Dunham, maybe. I don't know. I've heard rumors pretty much every week. I don't know. No, but guys, please welcome your first comedian of the night, Michael Harrison.
Woohoo!
Thank you. How can you tease everyone with Jeff Dunham and then bring me up? This is horrible. I feel like I should tell my jokes with a sock now. You know, I'm trying to make up for it. Good to see all you guys. This is awesome. I love seeing faces. It's a rarity now. Everyone's all masked up. Are you guys like me and starting to find it easy to recognize foreheads now? I saw my buddy Blake. I was like, oh, I know that glabella line anywhere. Are you for real? Botox to get by me from now on. Yeah, this pandemic sucks. I don't think we have to dwell on that. I think that's obvious. One of my positives with the pandemic is I like not working, right? Isn't that sort of sweet? I don't know. I'm not very good at working. I've actually been fired from 8 jobs.
Whoa.
8. I know. I'm a terrible employee, but I'm great at interviews. Right, like I've been fired so much, I get offended when people tell me they quit. I stop bragging. I stay at my job until they want me to leave because that's polite. Right? Because getting fired, it's such a demeaning experience. Anyone with compassion would just say, "We don't want you here anymore." That's all I have to say. But instead, they say stuff like you're canned, you're sacked, you're fired. One time, I worked at McDonald's, and they told me I was terminated. Who the hell do you think you are? I make McGriddles, Doug. It's not that serious. Yeah. One woman told me she was liquidated. I was like, what? You're not even a solid now? How can they do that? Yeah. My worst fire, I once worked at a gas station. I got fired because they put diesel into a regular engine car. Yeah, I don't know if you know what that does, but that destroys an engine. I didn't even know I could do that for minimum wage. You know, it's an eye opener, right? Because I didn't know anything. The woman came out all pissed. I was like, "You just destroyed my vehicle." I was like, "I make $6.50 an hour." You know what I mean? Sounds like an $8 an hour responsibility. Yeah. You know what my boss made me do though? My boss made me drive the woman home. Oh, what a 5-star experience that is. You know. Destroying someone's vehicle, then driving 15 minutes to her place while they yell at you the whole time. Oh, chef recommend, you know? By the time I got her to her place, she opened up my door and slammed it shut. I was like, lady, learn how to take care of a car. Ridiculous. I don't know. I will talk about this. I'm Canadian. That's where I'm originally from. And I'm pretty happy that hockey started. I love hockey. I think I understand why Canadians love hockey. You know, there's body checks, there's fights, concussions. It's the only sport you can really appreciate if you know you have free healthcare. It's fascinating looking at masculinity in other countries. You know, at least to me. I was like looking at Japan. Their national sport is sumo wrestling. Sumo wrestling. Yeah. Where they make overgrown men wear thong diapers, right? Because who's a sexy baby? Yes, you are. Like that other sexy baby. I can't even tell that's fighting. It looks like a fetish. You know, I was going to. Like, I just never seen anyone get into a fight, give themselves a wedgie, like, now it's on. Let's do this. In the zone. I looked it up, too. The reason why they make them wear thong diapers and not dignity pants is because they want to prevent cheating. Yeah, that's the whole reason. Like someone taped a nunchuck to the left butt cheek. They're like, yeah, we can't let it happen. I don't know. It is odd to me to see that because sumo wrestling has no weight class. That means the whole strategy is just to be bigger than your opponent. That is basically the whole strategy of sumo wrestling. Very opposite here. You know, you have like UFC. People are like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym and get muscle. They're like, oh, I'm going to go to a buffet and get titties. Yeah, good class. I'll end it on this. What is it? I got a girlfriend. She just told me something that blew my mind. She told me now when I go on the road, I'm allowed to let other women give me blowjobs. That's an actual fact. It sounds like a lie, doesn't it? Yeah, I know. But she has rules. I can't kiss or have sex or do anything else. Blowjobs, right? Because the other stuff is intimate, right? Blowjobs, that's like a wave. That's pretty very friendly. Isn't that like, how do you even convince a woman you're the worst transaction I've ever heard in the history of the world? You know what I mean? Who ever would go to a woman like, hey, would you like to do the worst sexual act that you all don't like for a hearty handshake and a thank you? That's fair? You know? Like, I actually brought this up to a car salesman buddy of mine. He's a really good car salesman. I was like, how would you approach this? And he's like, that's impossible. It's impossible. I've sold a car that was missing 2 tires. That sounds easier than that. For sure. Anyways, my name's Mike Harrison.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Michael Harrison.
Boom.
That's good. I'm American, but I do have hockey on in the background right
Nice.
now. Watching it, just to not be like a basic American. Like I gotta one up. I can watch American sports, man. No, man. Like I watch the ones with the healthcare sports, man. That's what I watch, man. We're gonna keep rolling, guys. Our next comedian coming up, very funny person. Please welcome Trevor Curtinson.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about sports.
Woohoo.
Now the girl from the ring. All right. That's sports. Well, I love that Halloween's coming up pretty quick. One of the reasons I love Halloween so much is that it's the one day a year that people essentially dress up like me. Good, but I can't do the same thing, right? Because I were to dress up as Bob the accountant, people just go, "Oh, look, Trevor finally got his shit together." That the way I look, that if I were to get killed, people would automatically assume it's a suicide. Well, you stabbed 17 times in the back, case closed. Oh man, I saw a music video recently, and I didn't even know they still made music videos, but it was for this band Maroon 5. And the entire premise of the video is that they just went to weddings and crashed them and played their music, which is a terrible thing to do to a wedding, right? Because here's the thing, like, they're an uninvited guest at that point. You know who else was uninvited? The Golden State Killer. Also, you gotta take time out of your wedding to explain to a grown man that t-shirts are only $12.99. That sounds like a terrible thing. And from what I've heard, the one thing that can ruin a Maroon 5 concert is Maroon 5. They're behind me, aren't they? I think the term rock star is overused too much at office jobs. Like, they always use it in some unfashionable way, like, hey, Karen is like, she turns a report in an hour early every day at work. She's kind of the rock star around here. That is not a rock star, unless she demands a pound of cocaine before turning in that report. And I know one of the things they tell you at a job is like one of the most important things at an office job is to show up on time. Has anyone here ever been to a rock concert? Start at 8. But here's the thing, I think we give him too much credit. I know I do. I remember that there's this guy, Elliott Smith. He stabbed himself in the stomach and died from it. And after I heard that, I was like, holy shit, that guy's intense. I need to buy more of his records. That kind of marketing does not work for the store manager at PetSmart. Yeah, you find out that guy kills himself, you're like, holy shit, that guy's intense. I'm gonna buy my pet food at Target. My mom got this email saying that if she didn't send someone $12,000 in Bitcoin, they were going to release pornographic footage of her. Which means that footage is being released. Because my mom doesn't know what Bitcoin is. It was obviously a scam, and I'm not mad that someone tried to scam my mom. What I'm mad about is that it'd take 45 minutes out of my day to explain cryptocurrency. Pain. I like to read, but I never really believed in self-help books. So I found out there's a self-help book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And as it turns out, that was Charles Manson's favorite book. Yeah, he used the skills from that book to get a bunch of people to join his cult and then get them to murder for him. Then I found out there's this other guy out in Russia called the Chessboard Killer. Yeah, it was also his favorite book. And he used the skills to get 60 people to trust him that he would later murder. And there's only one other person I know that has read that book, and that is my girlfriend. And as far as I know, she hasn't killed anybody, which makes me think she's not much of a go-getter. I'll leave you guys with this. About a year ago, my grandma passed away, and I went to her funeral. And when I got there, they're showing these photo slideshow of all these pictures over the course of her life. And a lot of these pictures took place at family reunions. And I haven't been to a family reunion since I was in high school. But the thing is, when I was in high school, I was a goth kid, right? I had long black hair that I hung in my face, but I'm also 6'5". So in all photographs, I got to stand in the back. So as they're showing these pictures, you got all these smiling, happy people in the front, and then the girl from The Ring standing behind them. Which I had to look really good to anyone who didn't know who I was, because like, yeah, of course your grandmother's dead. The Grim Reaper's been tracking her for like 20 years.
Yay!
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Hi, thank you, Trevor Gertensen. My book that I read is the 48 Laws of Power. That is what I do to manipulate people to give me money and kill for me. So I don't read How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'm in the new generation. Highly recommended for sociopathic comics that might be watching at home. You too can run an open mic if you know the 48 Laws of Power. That's how it goes. We're going to keep this rolling though, guys. It is going to be a hot night. People keep joining the room, which is awesome. Happy to see them joining. I'm looking for our next meeting. There he is. Please welcome a local guy to Chicago, Michael Cooper.
Hey, how's it going, y'all? I hope everybody's doing good. Listen, I got a bad toothache. And then, like, I told my friend I had a bad toothache. And out of nowhere, they were just like, hey, they put a guillotine in front of Jeff Bezos's house. And the toothache went away. You know? It's like, how dare you threaten somebody? I'm like, God, not having healthcare is a threat, you know? Listen, I need my family in Alabama to stop calling me to, quote, check on me every time there's some very justified looting that happens in Chicago. Like, how much stuff do y'all think I own? I own a half a pack of cigarettes and an acoustic guitar. Like, nobody's looting that. Does my family think I'm a flat screen TV? Like, what is Fox News telling you? There's looting in Chicago. Irresponsible people everywhere are losing the 25 cents that's in their couch cushions. I need my family to stop thinking I'm responsible. Okay? You know, I don't own property. I'm not responsible. I need debt collectors to stop thinking I'm responsible too. They call me, they're like, Mr. Cooper, you are responsible for, and I'm like, no, I'm not. That miscommunication might be how this whole ordeal started. I feel like everything I just did was just big piles of hack. Listen, I went fishing yesterday. It was awesome. But can anybody else get this feeling like when you go fishing? Like, I love fishing. I just hate when I go fishing and I catch everything but my father's love. I really hate that. I had to cut my father out of conversation for a while due to some statements he made that were not representative of his best self. I was like, Dad, if you're going to do racism, I can't continue to talk to you, even though I'm your son and we love one another. So if you're going to keep doing racism, you can't talk to the son that you love. And I kind of realize now, a month after the fact, having not heard from him, that's why white allies don't get to decide strategy. Like, if I was black, I wouldn't be looking at me and saying, yeah, the love that somebody else has for that person is where we put our hopes in, you know? Like, I really overplayed my hand. Hey, do y'all think Christians in Flint, Michigan are still doing baptisms? My brother's a cop back home in Alabama. He was going to come to Chicago to do it, but they wouldn't hire him. They said he didn't have enough video editing experience. What's this idea that like I can't dislike Joe Biden and vote for him? Like, what is that? What is that? Because I think he's a fucking creep, I can't also vote for him. Fuck, I forgot what I had written for it. Damn. That hasn't happened to me in a long time. Listen, do y'all think R. Kelly just did all that shit to get a cabinet position? Well, I gotta go work on this interpretive dance to Freebird. Thank y'all so much.
Woo! Yeah. Yes, thank you, Michael Cooper. I don't know why the spotlight wouldn't go off of you and onto me. Thank you, Michael Cooper. I love it. Yeah, dude, I've done worse things than vote for somebody I thought I was a creep. You know what I mean? Like I've worked for places where definitely the people were creeps and did that for way too long. So voting is not the worst thing you could do, especially when anyone you vote for is going to be a creep anyways. It's basically how it is. I don't care. Jo Jorgensen, she's a creep too. Everyone's a creep. All a creep. You want to be president by default, you are a creepy person. That's new law. Same with, you could basically hold that rule to a lot of positions of power, and I do. Our next comedian, please welcome to the stage Katie Zane.
Woohoo! I was really hoping that you were going to say, and our next person, definitely not a creep, but it's cool. You don't need to give the crowd the insurance. Totally chill. So yeah, I identify as a gender fluid person. I came out officially last year once I had a word for it. The thing is, like, you can decide your gender identity all day. It won't stop men from hitting on me, and it also doesn't stop me from having a vagina. You know, and recently I found out, so like as a white person, you know, a white woman, I got a virtue signal, right? And recently I was trying my best to save the planet by using a menstrual cup. And the thing is, it turns out I'm too disabled to use a menstrual cup. There's a lot of shoulder action. It turns out not for me. And I'm really upset because, like, how am I going to be impressive to people on Facebook now? How am I going to get through life when, no one's patting me on the shoulder for using a menstrual cup? I'm going to have to, like, stop using paper towels or something. I just got to, like, pick up a different mantle of giving a shit. So, like, I am an aging punk rocker, and there's a phenomenon that I don't know if you guys are familiar with. So, like, I'm an aging punk rocker, which just basically means that I have a bunch of holes in my body that I'm trying to constantly keep from closing. Because they were an investment. Doesn't matter how old I get, still poking things in there, making sure it's all right. Recently, actually, I have an industrial piercing, which is when you have like a bar go through your upper ear. I recently took it out because I was like, no one can see this, and I sleep more comfortably without it. I don't need to present that I'm super hardcore with this piece of metal in the side of my face. Comfortably is the best. But yeah, yet more holes I'm gonna be poking shit through later on down the line. Honestly, like I said, investment, right? Like, I have like a used car worth of tattoos on my body. Because I clearly knew where to put my money. So I recently found out, if anyone's being harassed or if you have somebody really DMing you and you want them to go away, all you have to do is ask them how dental dams work. And they're probably not going to know. And then they're going to think you're weird. And then they'll quietly tiptoe backwards away. And then out of your life and out of your DMs, you're welcome. I recently had a pregnancy scare during the pandemic. And it was my first one where, like, I wasn't alone. And then also my first one, not in super big poverty. So I got to use like a fancy pregnancy test for the first time. And I didn't know, if you're using that kind, that you can't just like pee wherever. Like, you have to like actually get it on the end of the stick. See, with poor people pregnancy tests, don't matter. You get your pee everywhere. You know if you're pregnant or not. Doesn't matter. It's like a weird thing I didn't know poor people would have like a 1-up on, but pregnancy test still works no matter what you do to it. And once I realized how fancy these pregnancy tests were damn right I harvested the batteries out of them, because these are weird times we're living in. And so now I have lithium batteries. They're about half an inch if you need any in the future. Do you think any of the kids that are defined as being terminally ill, statistically, do you think they're all great kids? They can't all be great kids. By the math, the numbers. Some of them are jerks. And there's more to that joke, but I don't want to run my time. Thanks so much, Mark. Have a good night. Woo!
Yay!
Woo. Thank you. Thank you, Katie Zane. Thank you very much. We're going to keep rolling, guys. We're going to keep rolling. We're going to keep rolling. Our next comedian, please welcome to the virtual stage of the internet, Josh DiDonato.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mark. So excited. So excited. 65 days, huh? 65 days until we get to vote in what might be our last election. Yeah. So cool. Can't wait. Which actually, does it even count as the last election if they don't tally all the votes that come in through the mail? I guess maybe 2016 was our last election. But you know, come to think of it, the Russians kind of messed with that one a bit. I don't know if you heard about that. It was in the news. Yeah, so maybe 2012 was our last election. But yeah, I'm not giving up hope just yet. I have a lot of TV viewing to catch up on. I got to binge watch the last couple of episodes and the series, the season finale of the Hate Parade that was on this week, the Festival of Gaslights, the Trump Family Variety Hour. Of course, I'm talking about the Republican National Convention, which I guess they brought Tiffany back from season 1, so I'm curious to see how that story arc goes. But yeah, the theme of the Republican convention this year is, oh, you think it's bad now? It's going to be so much worse with the Democrats. It's like their dystopia will be worse than ours. Did you hear the Democrats are planning to abolish the suburbs? I don't know what that means. I've never heard that phrase, but it sounds scary, which I guess is the point. But somebody needs to ask the Republicans, like, you know, if Black people move to the suburbs, it's still the suburbs, right? You know that. Okay, just checking. I guess a lot of the speeches in the Republican convention were pre-taped. So, and it seems like they were taped before 182,000 people died from COVID, because there's scarce mention of it. So I guess they just really prepared. There's a, and then also there's a speech from arguably America's most prominent homosexual, Mike Pence, spoke, and who is a brilliant strategist. like he has this policy where he won't go into a room alone with a woman who isn't his wife. But the huge gaping loophole there is he can go into a room alone with a man and nobody asks any questions, which is his preference. I said gaping loophole. Okay. Who had Republicans adopting a 17-year-old double murderer as a folk hero on their 2020 bingo card? Yeah, I'm out of luck. I had Republicans say only cops can kill unarmed citizens. So I guess that's my bad. Yeah, but I'm excited. I'm gonna tune in November 3rd for what may be the series finale of American Democracy. I guess we'll find out during the episode if it's renewed for another season. But yeah, I'm curious how America ends. All right, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, Josh. Josh DiDonato. Thank you. I like that. I didn't watch the RNC, but I feel like this last election couldn't have been the first time Russians tried to influence it, right? Like we've been doing democracy for 200 years now. They didn't just think of fucking around with it this time. This was just the first time it worked. It was always like
Yeah.
they always put like probably a ragtag team together to try to fuck with the election, and this time it paid off and they all got promoted. How it works at work. That's how it is where I work. Oh man, we'll keep this rolling. I'm very excited. Our next comedian, he was stretching earlier, and that's a good sign. Whenever a comedian he's stretching now, this is a very good sign. Please welcome Alex Avery.
Hey, what's up, Cucks? How's it going? Everybody's good looking tonight. Good to see you all. My name's Alex Avery, and if you don't like me, that's the only thing we're gonna agree on. Thank you. Love doing comedy. Love this shit. I just learned, this is kind of interesting, I learned that blind children experience 4 times as many nightmares when I read to them. Yeah. I'm not a monster or anything. I used to let those kiddos pick out their own books, but it doesn't really matter because I just read them Stephen King anyway. So, give a mouse a cookie, just feed it to Cujo so your family can get away. All right. We'll work on that one. But no, blind jokes, I just want everyone to know that I treat blind people just like everybody else. In fact, when they ask me for directions, I'm all like, sure, it's that way. Yeah. Maybe I'm doing too many blind jokes, but hindsight is 0-0. So
Oh my God.
whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about this though. If you wear a monocle, you probably have 18/20 vision. All right. Zing. There we go. I don't know. I was thinking about this too though. Like I love diversity. I love the diversity casting in film lately. I love seeing so many, groups of people being represented. But what really bothers me is no blind people have been cast as Daredevil. That's bullshit, because I want to see them do their own stunts, god damn it, without the dog. I don't know. Also, what doesn't make any sense? Batman has a dog, Daredevil doesn't. That makes no sense. So all right, what else? Blind jokes. Hey, can anyone tell me how come I never see a seeing eye dog in an animal abuse shelter? Can anyone tell me? Are they just too valuable, or do blind people just miss every time they try to take a swing? Who are you upset for in that joke? Are you mad that the blind guy missed, or the dog could duck a punch? I don't know. All right. We're working. We're rocking and rolling. I was thinking about this as a comedian when I have my day job. A lot of comedians have day jobs, and I write a lot of jokes at my day job. And it got me thinking, there must be other people that have dreams that they aspire to and then have shitty day jobs, there's probably some aspiring magician out there who's murder crime scene cleanup, he's all now this is sleight of hand. And he's pulling a real one off. I don't know. Check behind your ear. It's another ear. All right. That's dorky. We're working on it. And I thought, And I thought oh yeah, he's looking up the crime scene. He's like, and I thought I knew how to saw a woman in half. All right, zing. What else? Is this your cardiologist? Okay, we're doing it. I don't know. We'll work on that one. I'll think of some other tags or something. You guys got a lot of drivers, or most of you guys staying in? Do you remember driving, at least? Going places? That was fun. It's interesting. Like, I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but whenever you see a roadside memorial, you never see any other religious symbols except the cross, which is like Christians just want you to know that they went to heaven. Like, that's just them bragging. But yeah, it's interesting. Whenever you see a roadside memorial, you never see any other religious symbols except the cross. So what I'm saying is maybe stop letting Jesus take the wheel, right? Right? Jesus saves, not this time. Doesn't make sense. Guy taught love thy neighbor. Guy taught love thy neighbor, not driver's ed. You know, he walked everywhere. You know, sir, do you know why I pulled you over this evening? Swear to God, officer, I haven't had a single drop of Christ. What would Jesus do? I don't know. Die? All right. We're getting it. Comedy, jokes. But yeah, it's weird that the stereotype isn't Christians being bad drivers. It makes no sense. The stereotype is that Asians are bad drivers. But that makes no sense at all because I've never seen a Buddha statue on the side of the road, right? Like Confucius says 10 and 2 or whatever. Just weird. You don't see any other religions represented. Like there's no Star of David. There's no yin yang symbol. Like you don't even see like a statue for like Muslim. I don't know. I forgot what it was. Damn it. I forgot what it was called. But you don't see like any, Muslim statues or whatever, probably because they're keeping half of them off the road. I don't know. We're working on that. I know that, I don't know. We'll, it's calm. We're working on it. All right. Here's what I'll close on. I have noticed white people. Oh, what? Okay, that's enough of me. That's enough of me.
Running the light.
All right, I suck.
I know that you shouldn't run the light because you're wearing a hoodie that says comedy on it. So I know you know.
I'm wearing a comedy festival T-shirt too. I'm such a dick.
Double down. He's wearing comedy attire to an open mic. I love it. You know what the light. I messaged you. You probably didn't see it. That happens. But if people go,
I'm always looking at my, actually not my notes. I just write the N word over and over. But whatever. We won't worry about that. But yeah, thanks.
Don't go to your notes. Don't go to and if you stick around for the fast minute comedy at the end, I'll mention it a few times, but it's fun. It's hectic. We all do another minute for everyone that's stuck around. So if you had more material that was not just the N word over and over, that's a minute. Not that, but you could do real material, not what you just said. Guys, our next comedian, please welcome a local comic, also a frontline worker in this COVID battle going on here. Please welcome Dr. Ellen from Chicago.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Oh, my God. And Alex, you just gave me a great idea for work. I love this. I'm putting you guys on thing. You know how, you would go to little kids, hey, I got your nose. You said that thing about the Earl, look what's from behind your ear here. Mm-hmm. I could reach into all kinds of parts of people and go, look what I came up with. But I don't want to reach into all kinds of parts of people. I mean, if I can fix something or figure something out, I don't mind doing that. So August has been kind of a great month. I like August. I usually own the entire month of August because it's my birthday month. Yes. And I had a birthday. August 9th was my birthday. And I become one of these numbers again that it's like, well, I guess I really am old. Oh. But being a senior citizen, first of all, I don't know what the fuck is a senior citizen anyway, but old is not like I thought it was going to be. It's actually kind of cool, would you believe it? It really is, right? I know what I like. I like coffee. I like men. And I like to have a battery-powered device close to my bed. And the thing about getting older is it's all about attitude and upkeep. Attitude, I have to really remember not to care what other people think. That's really hard. And upkeep, I'm constantly shopping for new body parts. I got new eyebrows, guys. Aren't they cool? I love them.
Yeah.
And so that, and you got to get good ones, you know, so that's why it's good to be a doctor, because I can pick and choose and get only the best body parts. So yeah, so I practice emergency medicine. I love that. And, you know, and I'm a loving person, you know, I want to be, you know, I care about my patients. The nurses complain that I care too much, but they say, we'd want you to be our doctor. But so sometimes people are weird, even though I really care about them, they're weird. And I work at night. And one night I went into this guy's room. It's like 4 a.m. and he's got something going on under the sheets. And he goes, "Hey, baby." I thought, oh my God, what is he, blind? I look like hell at 4 in the morning. And then I held myself. Nope, I didn't really hold myself, but I said, nope, I love the guy. You know, I'm not going to judge him. You know, I'm going to make it facilitate his life. And I gave him some lube and told him I'd be back in an hour. So he did his thing, right? So when I finally came back, just like a man, although I don't know, it's been a while. I am heterosexual, but he was asleep. He had a grin on his face. And you think, I mean, he never thought about buying me dinner, nothing. So, but what do you think is the hardest part about being an emergency room doctor? You know, there's blood and guts and trauma and drama. And I love that part. That's my favorite. The hardest part is the people I work with, just like you guys. And like nurses sometimes, you know, there are a lot of cute nurses that's really annoying. And you know what I found out? I thought they were cute because they were born that way. And I thought they were cute because they got enough sleep. And it turns out they had plastic surgery. You know what I did? I did what any other red-blooded intellectual female would do, and I got some. I got lots of plastic surgery. And now I have 3 husbands, and none of them are mine. So I will, and some of the other part, oh, this is my favorite. I've got a new tag for this one. So, you know, the really part that I hate the absolute most is some of the other doctors when they don't care. You know, I have to call them on the phone at night. And it's like a freaking sales job. They're in bed. They want to go to sleep. And my boss says, well, try to give them a compliment. And I thought, I'll do one better. I'll flirt. So I made my voice very, very deep, as though they were about to get a blowjob. And they start saying yes to everything. And one guy came in the morning looking for some action, and I had to duck out so I could put on my Halloween teeth. Yes. Halloween teeth. No blowjobs unless you don't mind Halloween teeth, just in case you're wondering. Thanks, guys. And that is how you learn how not to talk over a punchline. I am working on it. Thank you.
Thanks,
Mark.
Thank you, Dr. Allen. Good seeing you again, as always. We're gonna keep rolling. It's a bunch of Chicago comments in a row. This is always really fun when this happens, because everybody will try to figure out where I live again, including our next comedian, Laura Hogg.
Yay! Hey, look at this. I got my mic. It still counts. You know, it's weird. Trevor went up and I'm like, did I already do my set? We have the same eye makeup on. Although I've done some shows with Dr. L and it was great. Every time we were on the same show, it looked like we both went to the estate sale after Prince died to get our outfits. So a lot of gold paisley blazers in that, and when we're around. You know, I've been trying to stay healthy during this quarantine, trying to maintain my health, and then I think, why? This world sucks. What am I doing? Every day I wake up cursed with hope. It's bullshit. I've been exercising. I've been doing, you know, right now I have DVDs and I use the, you know, internet to follow workouts, but I'm like, if the grid goes down, I can do a prison workout, you know, because I still have a lot of body issues. So I will try to get a workout in no matter what's going on. I would have opened the first gym on The Walking Dead. That's the one thing I was like, they didn't have a gym. But yeah, I do. I, you know, started exercising after I got sober. I started, you know, off slow with no impact aerobics. But then eventually I started running even without the cops chasing me was an entirely different experience. I now do with fitness what I used to do with crystal meth. The weight loss results are a lot slower, but there's less chance of me digging out a homemade basement in my second floor apartment here. So I think it's worth it. And so do Ben and Tina downstairs. Yeah, but I did a prison workout, in a small space. The last time I visited my family, I was a quick trip. I couldn't get out to a gym or anything. I didn't have any equipment with me, any of my DVDs. So I just did some jumping jacks, some sit-ups, some push-ups, and then I went upstairs and shanked my Aunt Helen. So I've been taking care of my mental health too. I've been praying a lot. I do believe in God. I don't know what I think God is, but here's what I hope God is not. I don't like the concept of God as the Father. It's not because I have a problem with God being male. I just didn't want to go into the afterlife being raised by another single parent. I had hoped heaven would hold more for me than me cooking myself a lot of toast. I do, and I meditate. I try to focus, try to go inside and still my racing monkey mind. The Buddhists call it monkey mind because my mind races, and also I throw my feces. I still see a therapist online. I like that. I went to my therapist to talk about after I got sober. I started seeing a therapist because I still had problems in my love life. I kept dating men with a lot of prison time, and the relationships always ended the same way, and heartbreak and tattoos of teardrops. My therapist said, well, let's talk about your family. Thank you. Well, tell me about your parents. And I said, well, I don't know if I'd say I was raised by parents, more like roommates, one of whom gave birth to me. My parents weren't abusive. They were just neglectful. Like a lot of young parents, they didn't pay attention to me until I got really sick with chronic teen pregnancy. Boy, then they really started paying attention. Okay, this set could just be depressing, but hey, what is it, right? So I'm right in line with everything else. It's not this mic, and I'll give it back to the room. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Laura Hogg. Guys, we have a little swap-a-roo of our next comedians are doing a little spot swap. So when I noticed that we had Chicago comics in a row, I was wrong. I'm completely wrong, and I apologize. I will mute myself. I will introduce by muting. I will just introduce by text if you guys prefer that. If not, I will keep my comments accurate. I promise you, I will keep them accurate. I'm totally power tripping from hosting this mic right now. Somebody stop me. Please welcome. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna make myself a drink, a Dale Earnhardt Jr. as I call it. I'll show you how to make it. You get some vodka. I prefer Tito's because one thing Americans do better than Russians is making vodka. Yeah, they don't know how to fucking do it. They're idiots. So you take some vodka and you get a hospital mug. And you put some vodka in there. Maybe put a little more vodka in there. Maybe a little more vodka in there. Why not? Maybe just a little bit more vodka in there. And then, maybe a little bit more vodka. And there we go. I think we have enough vodka. And by we, I mean me. Then you get the main ingredient that is the namesake for the Dale Earnhardt Jr., and that's Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh.
And then you just pour it in there. Isn't that nice? Bet you all have to go to the bathroom now. See, I'll do a toast to Chadwick Boseman. May he be chilling on that beach with Tupac and Nipsey Hussle. So I'll get to jokes now. I'm so pale that I could rescue Kanye West from the sunken place just by lifting my shirt. I'm so pale that my skin is whiter than my teeth. I'm so pale that I can hold a lot of water. South Dakota
Oh, I got that.
has more corn stalks than people, which means we're a vegetative state. I live in a I use AC in the summer and AOC in the winter. So hot. So hot. If bipolar is a disability, then how come I don't get the good parking spots? I'm young, and I think I'm going to be young forever. And I'm Gen Z, which means I'm right. A depressing joke. A bright side approach to a very dark fact. Bi women love me because I have a penis and a lesbian haircut. Let's see. Next page. What do you get when notorious tattletale Tekashi 6ix9ine picks up sewing? Snitches get stitches. Let's see. Some people, they think nature is the best. I think there are much better granola bars. And then I'm going to finish with this one. What do you get when you get in a fight with Bruce Lee's son, Brock? Beef with broccoli.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Woohoo!
Thank you, Ian, Roland Smith. I saw you're getting the most laughs from people on mute, which is always depressing when I see that. You're killing for the people that have to be quiet because of their roommates. Like that's we should come up with a way to make sound effects to the chat or something. I think that is the next evolution of these mics. If God forbid we have to continue these for much longer, I hope not. Oh my God, our next comedian, is he ready? I'm looking at him. He's outside wearing a mask. I think I might need to bump him back. Are you good?
I'm good. I was just getting into a.
Yes, we got a man on the street tonight. Please welcome Andrew Shanklin.
Yes. Hello. I'm outside the lovely Vic Theater in Chicago, Illinois here. Truly, that's where I am. Very fun stuff. I was raised Catholic. That's pretty fun. Raised Catholic. Here's what that's like if you don't know, being raised Catholic. My friends would come over to my house and they go, "Oh, that's a cool picture of your grandpa." I'd go, "No, that's not my grandpa. That is a framed photograph of Pope John Paul II." Yeah, that my grandma got me for my 11th birthday. And on the back she wrote, "Never have sex," and boy did I listen. Got a Catholic mom. Here's a fun thing about Catholic moms. They love keeping secrets. I don't know why that is. That's how it is. Like, here's what it's like having a Catholic mom. I go up to a family party. We're all in the car, and my mom goes, "Hey, before you get out, you need to know your aunt is pregnant, but don't say anything because she doesn't know that yet." Okay. Thank you. People are upset about politics and sports right now. They're like, too much politics and sports. I tell you what, I wish sports were more political. That's what I would like. I'd like it if they were doing those post-game interviews with a basketball player. They're like, "So you got 15 rebounds tonight. Do you think there's any chance that America will rebound from this financial crisis?" And, like, I want there to be like, you're watching college basketball and two teams are really close. They're like, "Oh, I don't know if they're going to pull this out." And they're like, "Let's go to the map of the Electoral College and find out." Someone's going to be like, if the Cubs want to win the World Series this year, they're really going to need a lot of votes from 18 to 30-year-olds. They got to get out the youth vote to make that happen. I'm a very picky eater, always been a very picky eater. Here's the thing about being a picky eater. Everyone asks me why I'm a picky eater. It's like, why am I a picky eater? It's because when I was 8 years old, on Thanksgiving, my parents, they took me to my grandparents' house and made me eat cranberry sauce and said I had to be thankful for it. Like, of course, I hate trying new foods. Okay, that didn't work the last time either. All right, we were on a good run. I like one thing that's very weird about me as a straight guy who does not have sex is I feel very weird listening to like sexually liberated women's music, music about sexually liberated women, because it's just not for me, you know. I'm listening. Cardi B's like macaroni in a pot. I'm like, I'm a picky eater. You know that's not for me. Like, okay, not worth it. Fine. Let's see here. I'm a young guy. I just visited my parents in the suburbs, and they had all these, you know, embroidered pillows with these things like live, laugh, love, or whatever, you know. Like since I'm young, all my friends are very radical. So if any of us get houses and we get these throw pillows, they're gonna be way weirder. You know, it's gonna be like eat the rich, right? That's what they're gonna say. Like the you know, people get murals painted in their breakfast nooks. Ours are gonna be like the machinery of capitalism is oiled with the blood of the worker. That's what it's gonna say. All right. Those are more fun things to say than they are jokes. So that's that. I phone bang for political stuff a lot. That's a thing I do. And it's funny because I'm very bad at talking to women in bars, but when I'm phone banking, it's, you know, it's easy because there's a script, right? I just wish you could combine the two, you know, like I'd be calling up a woman to be like, hi, this is Andrew from Virgins for Change. You could, do you want to make a difference this year? We could, okay. That's a fun one. I've been seeing someone recently, huh? How's that for a twist? I've been seeing someone recently. Yes, huge applause from Chicago comics. I see the light. This is my last joke here. I've been seeing someone recently, and the other day we were watching a TV show, and she said rut row. That's crazy because that's what my dad used to say. I was like, okay, I got to go take a walk and rethink my sexual paradigm, you know? Like, oh, I don't want to have sex with my mom. I want to have sex with my dad's Scooby-Doo impression. All right. Everybody, have a great night. Bye-bye.
Andrew Shanklin from the streets to the stage. I love it. Thank you, Andrew. I know he messaged me, guys, to get bumped back a spot because he was on a bus, and I was not considering bumping him back because I wanted to see a bus set. I really wanted to see a guy talk about being a virgin for 4.5 minutes on a city bus. Watching, no, this is comedy. Oh dear God. Our next comedian coming up, please welcome Cody Webb.
Yes, I am Cody Webb. I look like if mayonnaise had feelings. True in more ways than one, okay? I'm often found on sandwiches. I'm available in a variety of colors ranging from white to off-white. And I have been linked to several outbreaks of salmonella poisoning throughout the Pacific Northwest. All right, I'm gonna level with you guys. That last part about salmonella, I made that part up. The only reason that's in there is because I was trying to come up with a third joke for this. So I read the entire Wikipedia page on mayonnaise, and that was the best I could come up with. Like, my jokes may not always be funny, but they're well researched. Sports are back, which is interesting. It's a weird dynamic. And watching sports lately has made me realize that basketball and baseball have very different solutions for women playing their sports. Like, with basketball, women wanted to play, and the people in charge were like, oh yeah, totally, man. We're just gonna give you guys a slightly smaller ball because of slightly smaller hands. Works out, it's a good system, everyone's happy. But then they went to the people in charge of baseball, and they were not as chill with women playing their game. Like, their guy stood up and said, all right, you can play, but on a few conditions. One, we're going to call your sport softball so no one thinks you're manly. Two, we're going to start a rumor that all softball players are lesbians. 3, we're going to have you throw upside down. I don't know what that means. You figure it out. And 4, here's a grapefruit. That's the ball now. Go fuck yourselves. Speaking of fucking yourselves, great segue. My mom thinks that I shouldn't swear on stage. She has told me that I would be so much funnier if I didn't swear on stage at all. Which, for one thing, is my mom really so self-centered that she thinks she's my target demographic? Like, she thinks I'm writing jokes for her. No, if my jokes are landing best with 50-year-old construction workers, something has gone terribly wrong. No, I write jokes for people like me, okay? 24-year-old former child prodigies who peaked at 3 years old and have been depressed ever since. And secondly, why would a non-comedian tell somebody how to do comedy? It doesn't make sense to me. Would any of you go up to Van Gogh and be like, hey man, I love your stuff, but can you tone it down with like the sunflowers? Like, I think it would be look so much prettier if you didn't do the sunflowers as much. No, none of you would do that. Mainly because none of you speak Dutch, but also because that's just a dumb thing to do in general. Okay? Let the master do his work. And yes, in this metaphor, I am acclaimed painter Vincent van Gogh. But don't worry, the metaphor works, okay? We are both clinically depressed. We are both criminally underappreciated in our time. And that joke generally works better when I'm not bombing, but whatever. And we are both slowly being poisoned by the things we love. And if you're still not on board with this metaphor, don't worry. When in 150 years, when one of my jokes sells at auction for $80 million, then you'll realize how well this joke fucking works. All right, thank you very much. I've been Cody Webb.
Yeah, Cody Webb. I do think that's how jokes should be settled. Is everybody should stop stealing jokes and they should be auctioned off to the highest, the richest YouTuber whose dad is paying for their fake career. That's basically what it comes down to. Any YouTube stars here? No, I'm just kidding. I don't really care. Our next comedian, please welcome Kate Cullen.
Hey, how's everybody? Yeah, so you guys, I've been having problems with technology this week. So it sucks that like I'm alone here with my cat and now I can't watch TV because my connection box with my AT&T, it doesn't work and I can't get my TV on. So it's like the tech guy said it's because my box has malware. I mean, there was a time when having malware in my box, when I was sluttier, having a malware in my box was something that I dealt with at Planned Parenthood. It was not something that I would deal with by calling AT&T. But yeah, so it's like, it got me thinking, I guess my box is dirty because, it's just too accessible, I'm just going to have to change my passwords from I'll take a shot of Jameson to, okay, put a ring on it. Okay. I guess that's how I'm going to have to not have malware in my box. Now I just tell, if anyone, tell you one thing that keeps you from giving your puss to anybody is having a puss. Because I'll tell you, and I'm talking about my cat because it's like, cab drivers and Lyft drivers try to pick you up all the time, or like maybe it's just me. But it's like, I'll tell them I have a boyfriend. Oh, he must not love you enough. You need to be with me. Oh, I'm a lesbian. Oh, I can turn that around. I tell them, I have a cat. And they're like, oh, no, you crazy cat lady. People always assume that because you have a cat, you have like a bunch of cats. Like, no, I only have one cat because, it might be love, but it might be Stockholm syndrome. So I want to know that I want to at least think it's love. And see, if I get enough cat, then the two cats might like each other better than me. That would just suck. I mean, it's like, no, I'm the one feeding you. I'm the one scooping your crap every day. You are going to love me. That is how that is. I do not need any other competition in my house, even if it has 4 feet and speaks your language. So there, that's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about that. I work from home. So I've been trying to make my work environment as much like my home environment as possible so I can feel professional. So I wear my work badge every day to work, and I make sure to keep my cat's litter box right between, my bedroom and my desk so that I can, keep the feel of the Red Line commute. Now I'm just trying to teach my cat to ask me for money or try to sell me socks. If I can, but she does try to eat me, so that's always cool. And I wear my work badge every day because that way I remind myself I'm at work. I can't do anything crazy. I don't wear pants though. One of the things that's nice about working from home though, every day is bring your cat to work day and every day is casual Friday. And I'm a little bit worried about how going back to the office is going to affect the dress code, because first they did casual Friday and then now I will not work at a job where I am expected to wear pantyhose. It's like, no, if I can wear jeans every day, we're not doing this. And then now because of COVID, it's like, you don't even try to get me out of pajama pants and I'm not brushing my teeth for less than $50,000 every 6 months. And I'm not brushing my teeth for anything less than 6 figures. Who do you think I am? Who do you think you are, company? I'm Kate Cullen. That's my time. Love you all.
Woo!
Thank you, Kate Cullen. Thank you. Yeah, I think that we're at a time where we could, everybody that's working from home, when they send us back, just don't go back. If we all don't go back, then we all get to work from home forever. After the country's working from home, we're all agreeing right now that we're not going back. There we go. See, now we can work from home forever. Kind of like a strike. That's how it works. We have the power. Our next comedian has all of the power as well, as I'm finding them in the chat. Oh, please welcome AJ DeMello.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm trying to be more mindful, like it's not polite to cough in person, so I've been taking advantage of my phone calls, like just fucking, there's something wrong, but sorry, I'm still a little backed up. Gotta get it out. First joke, killed it. Glad everyone's in tune. All right, let's move on to the next one. I feel like I'd be someone you'd want to know in the zombie apocalypse, like when it comes to weapons, like I got ideas, man, like, and I'm not talking about like a rocket launcher or an army tank. I'm talking about a group of Christmas carolers attached to an explosive device. Call me Saint Dick. What's up, folks? Nothing? All right, we're killing it. Happy to meet you too, Chicago. I try to be a good person, noble, but ever since my dad stole a monkey from Stanford University, the bar's been set pretty high, like my dad, he really, really loves animals, took me out of captivity when I was 4. He's really been on top of it. It's a true story, though. My dad, he did steal a monkey from a lab at Stanford. And, it was where it was being tested on, like the 5 other monkeys that Stanford had. He was supposed to die, but lived under the surname Tarzan for years. Just a survivor. I found out my dad actually couldn't get custody of me until I was 7. And I think that's when the monkey died in the bed originally meant for me. You know, like there was a trans that went on. All this time I thought like the visits my dad had with me as a kid, like had to be supervised because like my mom was lying about his character. Turns out they were just making sure my dad was treating me like a human, you know, so we gotta make sure we cross the dot. You know, growing up, my mom was always a bit of a klutz. You know, every time we'd play hide and seek, she'd end up with a bloody shin. You know, be on one crutch. Her big klutz moment though was when I was 3 years old. She was cleaning the house and accidentally knocked over the TV, which took a 1/4 inch off my right pinky and made my pinky nail grow more curved over the years, which, you know, being the type of person my mom is, it could have been an accident, or she thought it'd be cute to have a baby with a Coke finger. You know, I feel like my mom has too good of handwriting for how bad of a person she is. Like I remember the worst part about writing to my mom in prison was looking like I'm the one writing with handcuffs on. You know, like this is fun. And my mom, she's you know, she's such an alcoholic. I don't really talk to her. And even if I did, she'd always be telling me like my jokes about her aren't real. And when really she just doesn't remember things well. I know somebody would be thinking, oh, you value stand-up over your own mother? Hey, I didn't drop a TV on my comedy career. Okay. All right. Well, I'll say this one last thing. I'm getting tired of, I'm sure you guys feel the same way. I'm getting tired of people slouching. You know, like, is it that hard to keep your mask on while waiting in line for an orgy? I mean, have some fucking respect. That's all I'm saying. All right. Well, that's been my time. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Woohoo!
Oh, DeMello, thank you very much, guys. We're gonna keep rolling because I want to get through the list. I want everybody to keep energy up, and the fastest minute in comedy is coming. Our next comedian has probably my favorite Zoom background of the night, probably. Please welcome Corey Strike.
Thank you guys, doing it all for the backgrounds. I am just a front man for this shiny microphone here. I'm not against the mask necessarily, but they have made superhero movies a lot less believable for me. Like there would definitely be at least one time where Batman forgot his mask and just had to kill somebody because he saw his face, you know, like that just wouldn't happen. Everybody around me where I'm living anyway is wearing masks physically, but I wish they would start wearing masks emotionally. Like I'm so sick and tired of hearing how my coworkers are being harassed and stalked and having to deal with a hostile work environment. And it's like, Jesus, guys, if I cared that much, I would listen to HR when they told me to stop harassing and stalking and creating an emotional work environment, you know? Like, it's just not getting through to me. But I am a bad person. I'm coming to terms with that over the course of quarantine. My grandmother got diagnosed with Alzheimer's recently, and I don't know if anybody else out there has had to deal with that. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Just kidding. It's now incredibly easy to steal money from her. She is basically living like she's back in the Depression era times and only requires about $2 out of her Social Security to feel like she's getting the full clip. So that's been pretty great. We have been trying to bring her around the family more and more, make sure she's with us for as much time as possible here at the end. And, you know, she's around, but she's kind of around like a Furby's around. Like every once in a while, she'll just pipe up, I'm hungry. And we're like, oh, Grandma, we ate hours ago. Didn't anybody remember to feed you? Oh, okay. You'll forget soon enough. It's not a big deal. I think the coronavirus really has ruined the economy, but the people who have been hit the hardest are the people who are giving out free hugs. Like that market is just super in the shitter now, right? I mean, literally, you can try and hug somebody, but it's got to be in the shitter, and even then, they're probably going to call the cops. So what are you going to do? Me and my girlfriend have been also on the sticks recently. Things have been hard in terms of relationships. I've actually been getting so bored that I started listening to country music, and she hates that, but it did inspire her to come up with a new sex position. She calls it the Willie Nelson. It's not the intimate dick wrangling you might be imagining, though. It's just where she leaves me and goes looking for sex on the road again. So, fuck, that's been tough. I think we got to remember during all this COVID craziness, though, guys, that the human body really is amazing. I mean, did you know that we are actually fully capable of digesting a screw? Just not if a Catholic priest gives it to you when you're 5. That makes it a little bit tougher. I was hearing a comedian saying recently that comedy is really what brings us all together. It's the only thing that can, and really it's through 3 topics, sex, food, and sports. And yeah, luring me to a baseball game and promising me a hot dog is how that Catholic priest got me. So cheers to comedy. Appreciate that. I think there is one more thing that can bring people together, and that is Holy War. I'm kind of preparing for that as the culmination of 2020 here. I think that's where we're heading. So I'm trying to do my research also, so when I meet my maker there, I can demand a full refund. I've been looking into Catholicism and Islam primarily. One thing I don't understand is, why do fundamentalist Muslims have to blow themselves up to get what Catholic priests just get as like a perk of the job? I mean, where's the logic in that? I like to imagine that when a Muslim and a Catholic eventually meet in hell, the Catholic priest just gets to tell him, "Hey, look, man, you prayed to the wrong God. I mean, that was your chance up there. That was where it was. That's where the action was at." I'll leave you guys with this. I think we just got to remember that there's a lot of false information out there. Like the other day, I saw a commercial that said, "We're all in this together." And you know what? That's true. But everyone in the Hunger Games was in it together too. Thanks, guys.
Hi. Thank you, Corey. One more time for Corey, guys. Clap.
Yeah.
Around in the next comedian coming up. Keep clapping for Connor M.
Howdy. I have my name set without my last name for the Alcoholics Anonymous portion of my Zoom meeting. So sorry about that. I guess I could do a better part of promoting myself, but whatever. I'm out here on a beautiful beach, enjoying myself. I've got this sweet blank white wall background I put to kind of fit the mood of what you guys are doing, though. I see what it's like. I got myself a cup of late night coffee here, which is I'm 30 now, and so coffee at this hour kind of carries the same mindset for me as like Coke when I was 20. Like it's gonna be something. It's not gonna be a regular night. Speaking of cocaine, Cody reminded me when I was younger, cocaine for me was always like mayonnaise, actually, because I've never in my life purchased mayonnaise, but somehow I always happen to get my hands on some mayonnaise one way or another, Never bought it for myself though. Well, Facebook's interesting lately. Depressing, I mean, not interesting. It's horrific. I've got some religious parents, so I'm getting to see all these sweet QAnon posts. And I'm being told now that supposedly, I don't know if you guys have heard this, Hollywood is run by pedophiles. You guys aware of that? My whole life, people have told me that Jews run Hollywood. Now I'm finding out it's Catholics. What do you know? I'm planning on voting this year. I have a little tradition I do. Every election day, if I vote, I treat myself the next day with erection day. Go down to the strip club. And, on election day, I go to the polls, cast my vote, try to affect the destiny of the country. Then on erection day, I go down to the polls, cast my dollar bills at destiny to get her to shortcut to me. Okay. That's great.
Wordplay.
It's a good tradition. It's a good tradition because what you guys don't know, or maybe you do, is strippers are a patriotic bunch of people. actually. I don't know if you guys saw the video that made the rounds on the internet about a year ago. It was this stripper in Dallas, Texas. She climbed all the way to the top of a 20-foot pole, fell from the top all the way to the floor, broke her jaw. And for the entire next week, all the girls down at my local club were stripping at half mast just to show their respect. Might have been just for safety. I don't know. Okay. Speaking of strippers, here's a fun fact. I used to be able to come without touching myself, and then my girlfriend broke up with me. Hey, okay. No. Speaking of coming, I was thinking recently about the term premature ejaculation, and it's not important why I was thinking about it, but I was, and I realized premature ejaculation shouldn't mean what it means, you know? Premature ejaculation sounds like if a 3-year-old could bust a nut. You know what I mean? Like, that's an awfully premature ejaculation, doctor. Yeah, we'll study him. Okay. I'm a big fan of body positivity. I just don't like the term plus size models. I prefer role model. I also have to say, with all this crazy political shit, as much as Trump sucks, I have had a good time watching his administration because I like my politics like I like my porn. Barely legal. All right. So my mom always used to tuck me in when I was a kid. I think she just wanted a daughter. No? You guys have seen Silence of the Lambs. Buffalo Bill style tuck-ins at my house. I think it would be funny to have Buffalo Bill as like a motivational speaker. You know, you always have motivational speakers tell you, you know, if you don't love yourself first, how's anybody else gonna love you? I'd love to see him on stage like, if you wouldn't fuck you, why would anybody else fuck you? Right? I'd fuck you. Oh, is there a light? My bad.
And I messaged you, but that was good. I jumped in to keep it rolling. That's how we go. It's all good. Our next comedian coming down. We got just a few more left, guys, in the fastest minute. So stick around. You can do another minute of speed round, lightning round, if you will. Redemption round. Some people have called it, but don't call it that because you can't redeem yourself. If you did bad, you'll probably do bad again. I don't know. Never worked. Right, go back.
Positive.
Our next comedian, please welcome Seth Rabin.
Woohoo!
Thank you. I've been here, so I'm glad to be back. Before I get started, I am required by law to let you guys know that I am in fact a registered autistic Jew. So I want to get that off. 2 for the price of 1. Okay, I'm not autistic, but when I was in time in school, I was placed on the bottom of the spectrum. And when I graduated from high school, they took me off the spectrum. But it's been about 10 years now, and everyone's been begging for me to make a comeback. So I am a Sagittarius. Do we have any Sagittariuses here? Anybody? All right. So the mythical creature for the Sagittarius is the centaur, which is half man and half horse, which I think I'm a lot like a centaur because the top half of my body is human, and then the bottom half takes bigger dumps than people would like me to. Particularly my apartment custodian. So I live in Madison for work, but I hope to come back to Chicago soon. To be back with my family. But I used to work in Rochester, Minnesota, and when I did, my beard was a lot bushier. And one time I was at a bar with some coworkers, and this drunk blonde woman comes up to me from behind and says, "Are you a terrorist?" And I was offended. I was just like, "No." Well, actually, if I remember correctly, what happened was I put my drink down, cleared my throat, cut the green wire, and then I said no. So that's if I remember that correctly. So I live in Wisconsin, not too far from Kenosha. So obviously things have been crazy. You know, there've been riots everywhere in Madison and Wisconsin, and it's gotten to the point now where everything is burning. You know, American flags, dumpsters, cars. It's getting to the point now where anything is flammable. It's gotten so bad that I started spraying repellent on my relatives just in case they wandered off. Because there's nothing worse than having a cooked relative. Next thing you know, I'm giving inspiration for Yankee Candle flavors. You know, coming up for this fall lineup: pumpkin spice latte, apple cinnamon, and new to the collection, roasted Aunt Gertrude. So, so obviously, you know, this has been a tough year because of the coronavirus. But I noticed that people for a long time would refer to places as hot spots. And I never liked that because whenever I think of like hot spot, I think of like, you know, a cool place to hang out, you know, a party, a place that has, you know, a party that with drugs and just the craziest experience. So whenever I hear like a retirement home in Iowa is the newest hotspot, I just think to myself, man, there must be some really good Molly in those ventilators. So obviously this current summer has been a rough time for celebrity deaths. You know, we just had Chadwick Boseman, Wilford Brimley, Naya Rivera, all these people. But I think the one celebrity death this past summer that I've been thinking about lately is Mary Kay Letourneau. Do you guys remember her?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, she was the teacher in the 90s that had sex with her middle school student, and then they ended up getting married and stuff like that. And she recently passed away from cancer, I believe. And it made me think about my time in high school. And I think about that because I don't think there could have been any situation where I could have had sex with one of my teachers, because I was in special ed, and I don't think my style of foreplay would have gotten me in the 75th percentile. I just wasn't qualified for that. So I'll get out of here on this. All that stuff about horoscopes and Sagittarius stuff, I don't follow that directly too much. It's just something I just do for fun. I don't take it personally. I don't judge anybody by it. It's just for fun. Quick question: do we have any tourists in this chat room? Nobody. All right, good. They suck. All right, thank you guys very much. I'm Seth Raven. You have a good night.
You Seth Raven.
Hey.
100%. I am a Taurus. I didn't unmute, and I was doing something else. But yeah, no, we do suck. We suck. We power trip on hosting Zoom open mics, like I've been doing all night. When they run, I'm trying to organize us not to go back to work, which we're all not going back to the office, right? Thank you. Our next comedian, awesome. Please welcome Callum Marullo.
Woohoo!
Connor M, are you at all related to Woody Harrelson? Because I mean this not as a roast, as a compliment, but you have Woody Harrelson's face.
Everybody tells me that, yes.
I thought I was being so original. No, okay. That's probably like I get people go, oh, Callum Marullo, like Jason Derulo, and sometimes someone says that joke to me, they're like, it's original, right? It's like, no, everyone has done that joke. It's it's not as original. All right. Well, with that, I'm in New York at the moment, and I went on the subway for the first time in a while, since quarantine started, and I was reading in the paper, that the subway in New York is like the worst it has been since like the Great Depression. It's the worst it's been. And I went down there, and like it was filthy. There were rats everywhere. There was like a crazy guy on the platform shouting at people, and I was like, oh, it's exactly the same. Nothing has changed here. It's exactly the same thing. All right. I don't know. I had a guy on the subway. He came on. He was like, he was shouting at people. He's like, "You're not God, and you're not God." Be going right up into people's faces. And I was watching him come down the carriage, going, "You're not God here." I was like, "Oh boy, I'm next." And he came up to me. I was like, "And you're definitely not God." And I was like, "Oh, I know he's crazy, but that was uncalled for there, right?" Well, uncalled for. Okay, I've lived in a lot of cities, but New York is the only city where the homeless people will not ask you for money; they will demand it of you. Like I had a guy come up to me and was like, "Give me money now," and I was like, I gave him $1, and I was like, I don't know if I should feel good about helping that guy or bad that I just kind of got robbed. I don't really know. The thing is there. I don't know. I do like taking this. I know it's kind of hacky to do subway jokes, I guess, but it's such an interesting place. Like you see such strange people down there, you know, like I saw an old lady who was bald and had a mustache down there a couple of weeks ago. And I told my friend that, and he was like, "Are you sure you just didn't see an old man?" And I was like, "No, I'm not actually. Come to mention it, it was probably just an old guy with a mustache and a beard." Now that you mention it. All right. You know what? When I wrote that joke, I was like, "Hey, okay, here's a premise and here's a punchline." But looking at it now, I don't think that was within the joke at all. What else do I have here? There's one more thing about the subway. I don't know. Where the fuck did it go? I don't know. Everyone is always on their phones on the subway, which I think that makes it boring that everyone's just constantly on their phones all the time, because no one's having a conversation for you to eavesdrop on. You have so much less to do, you know, like I get, you just say like, "Well, I guess I'll listen to music then," but really I would just like to be learning about strangers' private affairs. Isn't that why people come down here? What else? Okay, here's one more thing about the subway is you know, when they'll announce something, they'll be like, "The next train will be in 1 minute," and even if they say the next train will be in 1 minute, everyone still leans down to look down the tunnel to see if it's coming. Like, is it really though? You know, that is also something that happens. All right. Well, I tried. Oh, that's my time. I tried all the jokes there. So thank you guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yay.
I like it. I don't know, man. I don't know if like, I feel bad. There's probably people taking subways to jobs right now. I don't know, man. That's like, I can't do the subway. I can barely put gas in my car. Without freaking out. You want to know what I did? This is what I did. I had to get gas in my car. I went to a brand new gas station, which is a rare thing that exists over at Belmont and Western if you live in Chicago.
Oh.
But it's a brand new gas station that wasn't there last time I drove my car. And I was like, that gas station probably doesn't have COVID. It's too new. Like, COVID has been festering on those handles for a few months, so I think I'm okay. That is my thought process at this point. I am not a doctor. I never will be or should be ever, really. I don't understand science. Our comedian coming up is Tyler Fowler.
Oh, great. Oh, stop. You don't mean it. Wow. Guys, so happy to be here. My goodness. Like comedians, everyone is making fun of themselves for being single and bad at dating. I feel like that's the best situation to be in right now. The people I really feel for right now are married people. Because they said till death do us part. They didn't say shit about being stuck in the house together for 6 months uninterrupted. That is a fully different arrangement. Right. Like all my friends that are married, they met their spouse in college. You know, college, the time known for making the biggest mistakes of your life. Drunkest 6 years you ever had. That's when you're going to pick a soulmate. That feels like a lot. You know? You dropped your major after 3 weeks. You're going to keep your boyfriend for life. I don't understand it. Yeah. Like personally, for me, my girlfriend from college is just like my diploma from college. They seemed like a huge deal at the time. And now I have no idea where they are. Back then I was like, this is going to change my life. And looking back, I'm like, I could have done this online for half the price. I don't know what I was thinking. Very different. College, I feel like it's changed a lot. Like when I graduated, all the professors were like, you can't post pictures of you drinking on social media. You'll never get a job. And now I feel like they're like, you're going to have to post nudes or you will never be able to retire. Okay. Get out there. Starting OnlyFans. I went to a real college, and I wish I hadn't. I wish I'd gone to University of Phoenix. Because like maybe they're not accredited, but you can get a degree for less than a used Honda and never put on pants. That's more my speed. You know? I love it. It's more my speed because it's like financial aid at University of Phoenix is just a coupon you cut out of the newspaper. Those are my people. You know, that's my level. Also, I love the weather in Arizona, so I don't think I would mind it. I did used to think that University of Phoenix was in Arizona. I saw the bird on their logo. I was like, oh, it must be the state bird. And that's how I knew I was qualified to go there. I just took a lie and believed it right away. No questions. People make fun of University of Phoenix because they say for-profit universities are bad. You know what's worse? A state school that charges $100,000 a year and can't turn a profit. I don't think they should be allowed to teach business. You know, that's more of an art school kind of thing. You know, it's bad bookkeeping. Also, the for-profit universities, they rely on their alumni for donations. And the University of Phoenix would never ask their alumni for money because they know they don't have it. You know, like graduating from University of Phoenix is like having a bad hookup. You're both like, this was great, but can we agree we're not telling anybody else about this? This is going to stay between you and I. Good. A lot of people from Chicago, you guys are familiar with this. In Chicago during the summer, there's two distinct groups of people. There's land people and there's boat people. It's pretty simple. Right? It's self-explanatory. Boat people either own a boat or they have a friend who owns a boat. And land people are ugly, stupid, and alone. And that's pretty simple. That's how we break it down. And I say that fully as a land person. I know exactly where I stand. And it's with you guys here on the shore. Yeah. You can be the hottest person at the pool, but if that pool isn't on a boat, you're ugly. And that's just how it goes. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Because the beach and the boat seem so close, but they're worlds away. You're not even allowed to drink on the beach. You can murder someone on a boat. That's international waters. You do whatever you want. You know? That's actually the only way us land people will ever get invited onto a boat is if we're about to be murdered. And you don't even have to trick us. We could see you mixing concrete to put on our legs and be like, is that champagne? This is fun. Boating's cool. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's different. There are these two classes of people. I feel like you have to be a certain level of interesting or hot to get invited on a boat. Like it's not all just about having money. Like for us, us land people, sea muggles, I like to think of us as people will hang out with you near water, but they won't hang out with you on water. It's like they have to have an exit strategy. When you start showing pictures of your niece and nephew, they won't hang out with you in a place where they have to swim to get out if you can't hold small talk. That's the whole arrangement. And it's not like you don't have friends. Like if you're a land person, you've got friends. They're just also land people. If you have a friend who has a boat, that person's not your friend. They're probably laughing at you right now on their boat. That is exactly how that goes. Basically, does anyone have a boat I can hang out on? That's the end of that one. But I do feel like there is a list. You have to check off fun, interesting, hot, or rich. You have to have at least two to get on a boat, right? Like even think about the Titanic. Even the poor people on the Titanic were hot, so they were just letting them take it. You know. Oh boy, 1 minute left. How do we tie a nice little ribbon on the end of this? You know, I feel like for a while people were worried about robots taking our jobs, automation, right? Turns out for white men, the number one cause of unemployment is just accountability. It's just tweets from you know. That's it, man. I'm Tyler. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler Fowler. I like that you were describing like you're like, oh, Chicago people know this, and we're all just like, we're all land people. We're on Zoom. Tell jokes to other people on Zoom. I didn't know there was boat people or water people. I didn't even know that was a thing. I forgot the lake fucking existed. I'll just anyone in Chicago that live too far from Lake, I live next to the river. That's where I live next to. I think that's like the only body of water available to me. And you can't swim in it. There's signs. You can't let the water touch your body even. You can't even.
Yeah.
It says, do not let the water touch your body. So don't go swim in the Chicago River up where I live. I feel bad for all the animals that swim in it, but that's a different problem. Our next comedian coming up is the last comedian before the Fast Minute Comedy. We'll do the Fast Minute after. But please welcome Tushar Bhatnagar.
Woohoo!
Thank you. Appreciate it. Here's the thing about marriage and sex during COVID. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. Married people are fine. Are we fighting more? Yes. Okay. But we're having sex, you know, like at least, I mean, I'll tell you this, at least we're like, I have a single friend. Okay. And he's been trying to get laid during COVID, but like he's not able to, so he got himself a cat, and now I'm scared for the cat. Does that make any sense? Like, all I'm saying is, like, I'm having sex with someone I know probably does not have COVID. Okay, I know that much about my wife. Like, I'm just saying it's not entirely bad, but I am running out of ideas for like sex talk. Does that make any, like, it's gotten so bad. Like, I'm a Harry Potter fan, right? I've been watching a lot of Harry Potter, which is what I do when I'm like sad. Just generally, I'm sad. But like recently, this is how I tried to initiate sex. Like, I was like, baby, can I let my prisoner of Azkaban into your chamber of secrets? And she did not respond to that. Okay, she was like, I will hit you with the philosopher's stone and throw you in a goblet of fire. So that's how my sex life is going. My brother got married during COVID. Yeah, basically yesterday. Okay, it happened yesterday. Clearly, I wasn't there because they were in India, which is, you know, where we tend to be from. So, anyways. So this dude, he got married, and I wasn't there because I was here in the US, and like, I'm really sad. Not because I wasn't there. I mean, that's fine. Honestly, whatever, you know? But just because he was getting all the attention. Does that make any sense? Like, do you guys have younger siblings? Like, I hate it when they get all the attention, because everything a younger sibling does is essentially just doing it for the second time, because I've already done it first. Does that, like, I'm already married, and now he's just trying to steal my thunder. He did a Christian wedding, not because we're Christian, but because it's cheaper than like a 6-day standard like Hindu wedding. You know, I really appreciate Christian weddings because they're just like, you know, you like walk down the aisle, you know, they take a walk, then they talk, and then they eat, and like, I didn't even finish half a glass of wine, like watching it on Skype. This is great. You know, it was hella cheap too, because like I was the one paying for it, so I was glad that it was cheap. You know, does that make any sense? Okay. I mean, the girl was Christian in his defense, so that explains the Christian wedding. But how dare he? You know, like, that's just blasphemy. Like, how dare he go out of his religion when I already have? Does that make any sense? Like, I'm already married. I'm already married to a Christian. Like, he's trying to steal my thunder. I think that's just his jam. Like, that's what he does. And at the wedding, like, thanks, Mark. They're starting the wedding, and the pastor, right? The pastor's amazing. So this guy, pastor, standing there, beginning of the wedding, he goes like, if anybody has a problem with this wedding, speak now, forever hold your peace. And I'm like, you know, it's okay. Then he says, I repeat, if anybody has a problem with this wedding, speak now, forever hold your peace. I'm like, bro, just go ahead. Then he goes, I'll say it again. If anybody has a problem with this wedding, speak now or forever hold your peace. And this time I'll wait for 5 minutes. And I'm like, are you trying to get him not married? Like, what are we trying to do here? Like, after 3 times, even a stranger in the wedding was probably like, you know what? Has he thought about it? I have a problem. You know, like, I don't know. If you ask me something 3 times, I'd probably question it. You know, like, I'm totally straight. But if somebody goes, are you gay? Like, are you gay? Are you gay? Think about it for 5 minutes. I'll be like, you kind of do have nice skin, you know? This has been something, you know? Okay, this is the end. Thank you. I had no idea to finish.
That was great. That was great stuff. I've been seeing. I haven't heard of a Zoom wedding yet. I haven't heard of it. I've seen people going and doing the COVID weddings anyway. So that's interesting to see. But sorry that the attention was taken away from you guys. I'm really sorry about that. Also, I discovered something amazing. I've been since I've been doing this online, the Zoom mics and whatnot. I've been always timing people on my phone, like I'm at the bar, like in person doing that. So I keep my computer charged and my phone charged. Then I just Googled stopwatch, and there's a stopwatch built in at Google. I'm an idiot. I'm using that now. So there you go. It's a tip out there for anyone thinking about doing it. You don't have to use your phone. You don't have. And I'm drinking like I'm at the bar. That's what I do as well. That's not going to change. Sorry, guys. We're going to start the Fast Minute Comedy. Go, go, go. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to say your name. You get a minute, and then I'm just going to bounce to the next comic. It's hectic. It's wild. I think our first comic on the list is here. Please welcome Trevor Gertensen. Go, 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 go.
So a lot of people don't seem to know or get confused about the whole goth thing, and I think it's pretty easy to explain. We're pretty much exactly the same as you. Like, you might listen to Lady Gaga. I listen to Nine Inch Nails. You might like the Avengers. I like Edward Scissorhands. You like a glass of wine with dinner. I hunt people down and drink their blood for sustenance. I also like podcasts about serial killers. I listened to one of these, and they said the most common characteristic among serial killers was that they had substance abuse problems. And I thought that was interesting, because I thought the most common characteristic among serial killers was that they were murderers. The one thing I like is they always bring up the shallow grave, because that's the one thing that makes them relatable, right? Because I can't relate to murder. I think that's a horrible thing, but you know what I can relate to? Not wanting to finish digging a hole. I get it. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, Trevor Gertensen. Avery, go, 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 go.
All right, I wanted to comment on Seth's thing. How embarrassing would it be for a centaur to have a human cock? All right. Just something. I don't know. I'm thinking two centaurs are talking, and hey, they're like, two centaurs are talking, and they're like, hey, you see that chick Shelly? What a horse face. And the other one's just like, yeah, she's a horse. I don't know. That's stupid. But I was doing all the racial jokes earlier, and I wanted to end with a nice little bow. You know, I think white people have a lot in common with polar bears. You know, same color and both on thin ice. All right. There we go. That's enough comedy from me.
Thank you, Alex Avery. Coming on, Dr. Allen from Chicago. Go.
Woo! Oh, I love this. You guys were, oh my God. So I had COVID, you know, I was worried when I had COVID. I had a headache. I had, oh my God, a headache. I couldn't breathe. I thought I might die, but I was really more worried that I have too many shoes, and whoever comes in my apartment is going to think I'm a streetwalker. And then when they find my collection of surgical gloves, they're going to think they're condoms for having sex with 5 men. Ugh. So I decided I'm just going to leave my velvet handcuffs on the table and be done with
it. Thank you, Dr. Allen from Chicago. Laura Hugger, are you there? You guys.
I'm here, Mark.
All right, I got.
I'm right here.
Okay, I'm starting your video. There you go.
Oh my God.
All right, thank you so much. I reserve, and then I take you longer to get ready because now when I shave my legs, I have to start at my face. And I let's see, my mom she busted me when I was little for shoplifting, and she was really disappointed in me, and she would tell me that every time she asked to borrow one of the outfits that I stole. I had an extra year of high school, but I don't want to brag. So I sometimes when I'm eating, food dribbles down my chin, but but the nice thing about being kind of small, flat chested is that it just goes right onto the floor. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura.
Bye.
Me and Ryan Smith.
Hey,
go.
I'm sorry if it's a little too early for the Chadwick Boseman is still alive conspiracy theory, but we all know that I'm not gonna be the only one who says that this week. I just wanted to be the first one to get onto a conspiracy theory. Mm-hmm. Someone was gonna do it. Yeah, I should probably tell a joke. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
I don't know. That's why I was asking you guys. I'm pretty drunk. There's a lot of
hate columns.
So Dr. Ellen was talking earlier today about, you know, how there are good things about being old. I mean, I'm old too. I love the fact that I'm old because I you know, it's like, first of all, no cramps. It's like a beautiful thing. Yes. No pregnancy scares. And you know, my sex drive is so, between being old and being sober and having self-respect, my sex drive is so low. It used to be like, you know, no, I can't eat pizza because I want a hot body so I can have sex with all these men. And now it's like, sex, that's cardio. Ugh, if a man comes into my house, he better have a pizza. And if the only three-way I'm having right now is with Ben and Jerry. So there. I'm out.
You can't get it on Connor M. Let's go.
Oh, okay. I was speed dating recently in COVID, and lady asked me, she said, "Oh, it says here you have a little one." I said, "It's more average, I'd say." No, it says you have a child. Oh, yeah. All right, that's all I have to say to you.
Yeah, go.
I've been learning to play guitar, and I've been practicing it over quarantine. And so far, I would say that the hardest part about learning to play guitar is having to bring it with you to absolutely every party and social gathering you go to. I feel like I wish there'd be like one or two you didn't have. I think that's how the ukulele was invented as well. Someone walked into a guitar store and was like, "I want to annoy everyone around me at all times, but this guitar is too heavy for me." I don't relate to modern music that well either. Like, my friend showed me a song that he liked, and the hook was and she fucked me for the clout. And I was like, oh, that's not something to brag about. Surely that's something like you tell your friends in private when you're drunk. Like, oh, she never liked me for me. All right, that's fine.
Tyler Fowler.
Oh, it's me. Oh man, I feel like people are pissed about cancel culture right now. But it's like, this has always been happening. We're just catching up on a couple of years where we didn't cancel anybody. We're just backlogged at the moment. You know, like, people were worried that robots were going to take our jobs. Turns out it's just Halloween pictures from college that are going to take your job. That's the whole situation. I feel like I could get behind cancel culture as long as we followed Willy Wonka rules. Like, if you want to cancel someone, you have to write a song. Like in the 50s, if someone got a promotion, they would sing like, he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. And I'm like, nobody could deny it. Like, it was the 50s. These guys were drunk driving their family to the dog track to bet money they made selling cigarettes to kids. Yeah. We didn't have Twitter, so it was easier to get away with. Yeah. Hey, that's it. Cool. Thanks.
Yay.
Thank you, Tyler Fowler. I'm looking for where is others? Get on. Oh no, it keeps moving because I keep talking. Get on down here, Tushar Bhatnagar.
Oh, thank you. Well, okay, quickly, my brother wanted to get a bachelor party. He was like, I want to go to Vegas, but I can't. And he was sad. I was like, buddy, you don't wanna have your bachelor party in Vegas, okay? The only people who have their bachelor parties in Vegas is people who know they can afford a second wedding. Okay, it's real risky. I've been to a bachelor party in Vegas, and instead of the quote, you know how there's a quote like, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It should really be whatever happens in Vegas, like becomes a 3-year-old and then goes to school in Vegas. Like, that should be the quote, you know? Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, back to me. It's my mic, guys. Thanks for coming out this Sunday. We do this every Sunday. I hope to see you around soon. Come back. We love it. In the meantime, simulation complete.